my name's Ashley and I'll be talking about the building model I made of the Sydney Opera House. At first, I want to talk about a little bit of the history behind the building itself. It began its structured design of the Sydney Opera House on March 2nd, 1959 by the modern expressionist architect Jan Utzmann. It is currently located in Bella Point, Sydney, Australia. Some of the functions of this building was to bring enlightenment to the communities around Australia, to bring the communities together by providing a performing arts center. It contains two large auditoriums and a smaller one. In some of these auditoriums, they have major halls of opera and orchestras and concerts in some of the smaller ones. They also even have restaurants located inside the building. It was constructed by using masonry concrete. The podium measures to 380 feet by 610 feet in real life, with 14 different shells that are perfectly shaped and constructed by using organic arches to rib construction. Jan Utzmann was inspired by techniques and material used in Chinese and Japanese culture. He even used a different variety of geometry to place some of these shells. For the shells on top, he even used Asian-inspired mosaic tiles that would work effectively with the high climates in Australia. What I found most interesting about some of the functionality in this building was, since the Sydney Opera House is center of the Sydney Harbour that then draws into the Pacific Ocean, is that they were able to use the seawater as a cooling system. So basically, the water will go into the pipes, and the energy used by the cooling system, it would power their heat and even air conditioning, which helps the environment and makes it more green building. For the first assignment in architecture, we were chosen to pick what building we found most fascinating architecturally, and I wrote about the Sydney Opera House. So it was quite a delight to be able to make the model of the Sydney Opera House and see some of the different, how difficult this building would be to build in real life. And, this one's a smaller one compared to hundreds of feet and in the center of, a harbor. So my construction of this model and some of the materials I used was, for the decking underneath the popsicle sticks is cardboard. For these light posts, I used wooden dolls and painted over them, and I strung up LED lights to showcase the light poles that are in front of the Sydney Opera House. Then these decks have different decks on the outside, and on the inside core of the building, I use foam and cardboard. I use more foam to make sure I can differentiate the different heights of the building. And then I was able to individually cut and measure and glue down each of these popsicle sticks here. Some of the most things I had fun with was creating some of the steps and the stairs to take to the different heights of the building. The shells, I used cardstock in order to form the different structures of the building. So one thing I found was most time consuming was definitely cutting each individual popsicle stick and gluing them onto the cardboard and foam. I was able to put LEDs inside the shells to showcase some of the shadows at night that takes place, reflecting against the shells, creating a shadow. So I definitely, the Sydney Opera House definitely brings out a modern view to the location of Australia. Its ideas challenge the possibilities in architecture today. It really brought architecture to a different view of thinking outside of the box of what can be possible for constructing such irregularly shaped shells. Now, I found this very fun to construct, and I'm happy that I was able to bring a smaller life to the Sydney Opera House. Thank you.